Have it. We move now. I believe the next subject of interest is the Education and Science Select Committee on the National Institute of Water and Atmosphere Research Limited. So the question is that that report be noted. And Honourable
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Cam Falder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ready and waiting to do your bidding.
Thank you.
Well, as you were aware, the Education and Science Committee did do a financial review of NIWA, National Institute of Water and Atmospheric Research, and I have to say the results were outstandingly good. Management control from the auditors, management control environment was noted as very good, no improvements are necessary. Financial information systems and controls for 2011 and 2012 to that year, very good, no improvements necessary. The comment was made based on the areas we reviewed during 2011 and 12. We found that appropriate policy systems and controls were in place and appeared to be operating effectively. And I was just speaking to a colleague on the committee. We have the pleasure of visiting Greta Point and seeing NIWA in action tomorrow and visiting the Tangaroa. It's unfortunate that perhaps we weren't making this speech after that visit. But just to recap, NIWA is a Crown Research Institute and its purpose is to enhance the economic value and sustainable management of New Zealand's aquatic resources and environments, to promote understanding of climate and the atmosphere and to increase resilience to weather and climate hazards. In 2011-12, NIWA earned $1.4 million in revenue. That's $121.4 million in revenue from research and applied science. It made a profit after tax of some $5.5 million, up $1.3 million from the previous year. Received a lot of its revenue, 51% in fact, from the Ministry of Science and Innovation as it then was, 17% from Ministry for Primary Industries, and the remaining 32% from work for governmental organisations and the private sector. Since July 2012, Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment, the Science, Skills and Innovation Group has been the primary monitoring department for NIWA, and the Treasury Crown Ownership Monitoring Unit has taken a secondary role in relation to the financial performance thereof. The gain in total revenue between 2010 and 11, which is noted in the report, is largely due to the gain in applied science revenue. In the previous year, the Tangaroa was out of the water for 6 months. So that sort of explains for those interested the difference in the revenue of about $4 million that we noted. So the key policy areas in which NIWA worked in 2011, taking into account its core purpose outcome, which of course is to increase economic growth through the sustainable management of use of aquatic resources, were natural resources and environmental science services, the sustainable use of aquatic resources, renewable aquatic and atmospheric energy, resilience to weather and climate hazards and tsunamis, climate vulnerability and change, and stewardship of freshwater and marine ecosystems. Now, as being the core purpose, as we've noted, it's not surprising that there are a number of vessels that are owned by NIWA. And as I said, the committee has the opportunity to visit Tangaroa tomorrow. So NIWA owns and operates 3 purpose-built research vessels, the Tangaroa, the Kaharoa and Ikateri, which provide the principal platforms for marine-based research and surveying in New Zealand. It's a number of small vessels as well. And the book value of these NIWA vessels as of the 30th of June this last year was almost $27 million. Revenue to support the vessels is received from the Ministry for Primary Industries, MBIE, Land Information New Zealand. So there's a cross-sectoral support of the vessel and the private sector. NIWA made the comment to us that all these sources of revenue are needed to maintain the validity of the vessel's operations. Now, as many of you may know, Tangaroa is a deep-water research vessel with an ice-strengthened hull. It was built in 1991 and is the only ice-strengthened research vessel in New Zealand. It undertakes work in 4 main areas: oceans research, fisheries research, hydrographic work and other commercial contracts such as for mineral exploration. It's a key source of revenue for NIWA, and they aim to have it at sea for at least 300 300 days of the year, and it looks like that they're all on track to exceed that expectation for the year ended 2012. NIWA invested $26 million recently in the installation of a dynamic positioning system and upgrade of Tangaroa between 2009 and 2011 to broaden the vessel's capability and extend its useful life by another 20 years.
The question is that the report of the Education and Science Select Committee on the 2011-12 financial review of the National